Tuesday, April 4th, 1944. Dear Kitty, for a long time I haven't had any idea of what I was working for anymore. The end of the war is so terribly far away, so unreal, like a fairy tale. If the war isn't over by September, I shan't go to school anymore because I don't want to be 2 years behind. Peter filled my days nothing but Peter, dreams and thoughts until Saturday, when I felt so utterly miserable. Oh, it was terrible. I was holding back my tears all while I was with Peter, then laughed with Van Daan over lemon punch, was cheerful and excited. But the moment I was alone, I knew that I would have to cry my heart out. So, clad in my nightdress, I let myself go and slipped down onto the floor. First I said my long prayer and very earnestly. Then I cried with my head on my arms, my knees bent up, on the bare floor completely folded up. One large sob brought me back to earth again, and I quelled my tears because I didn't want them to hear anything in the next room. Then I began trying to talk some courage into myself. I could only say, I must, I must, I must. Completely stiff from the unnatural position, I fell against the side of the bed and fought on until I climbed into bed again just before 10:30. It was over. And now it's all over. I must work, so as not to be a fool, to get on, to become a journalist, because that's what I want. I know that I can write. A couple of my stories are good. My descriptions of the secret annex are humorous. There's a lot in my diary that speaks, but whether I have real talent remains to be seen. She's one of the most talented writers I've ever read. Eva's Dream is my best fairy tale, and the queer thing about it is that I don't know where it comes from. Quite a lot of Caddy's life is good too, but on the whole, it's nothing. I am the best and sharpest critic of my own work. I know myself what it is and what is not well written. Anyone who doesn't write doesn't know how wonderful it is. I used to bemoan the fact that I couldn't draw at all, but now I am more than happy that I can at least write. And if I haven't any talent for writing books or newspaper articles, well then, I can always write for myself. I want to get on. I can't imagine that I would have to lead the same sort of life as Mummy and Mrs. Van Daan and all the women who do their work and are forgotten. I must have something besides a husband and children, something that I can devote to myself to. I want to go on living even after my death, and therefore I am grateful to God for giving me this gift, this possibility of developing myself and of writing, of expressing all that is in me. I can shake off everything if I write. My sorrows disappear, my courage is reborn. But, and that is the great question, will I ever be able to write anything great? Will I ever become a journalist or a writer? I hope so. Oh, I hope so very much, for I can recapture everything when I write, my thoughts, my ideas, my fantasies. I haven't done anything more to Caddy's life for ages. In my mind, I know exactly how to go on. But somehow it doesn't flow from my pen. Perhaps I shall never shall finish it. It may land up in the wastebasket or in the fire. That's a horrible idea, but then I think to myself, at the age of 14 and with so little experience, how can you write about philosophy? So, I go on again with fresh courage. I think I shall succeed because I want to write. Yours, Anne. One reason she's such a great writer is because she's so young and she sees things from a really clean perspective. So right then she's like, "Oh, I'm only 14. What does anyone want to hear the philosophy, thoughts on the philosophy of a 14-year-old?" Well, that's what would make it great, and because she hasn't been shitted on by the world yet, at least not that badly, and so you see things from a very optimistic, clean, tabula rasa perspective, and that's what makes her writing so enjoyable. If you enjoyed that reading and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and check out my own book. It's called Gonzo Education. There's a playlist on my channel here of me reading it if you're interested, and it's also available for free on Amazon. So thanks again for watching.